Hey, what's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here. We're checking out the Yongnuo YN685. This is the most popularly requested video because of what people want. They don't want just a manual flash, they want something with TTL and that could do high speed sync. This is the one from Yongnuo that could do it, and it's only 102 bucks. So as per usual, I'm gonna do the flash test using a white wall, a white situation. Of the SB800, of the Yongnuo 560 Mark IV, and then I'll use this to determine the power and how they all stack up. I really love what the SB800 does. It's one of my favorite Nikon flashes. And I'm not doing high-speed sync this second, but this is what I'm going to do. I have the 603 triggers on the D750, and on the flash, basically right behind the camera right here, what you'll see in the photos. And we're just going to go from there. I'm just going to set it up. We'll do the different flash powers. I'll put it up on the screen, and we'll really go from there. But what you have to know about the 685 is that it's built like the rest. It's, you know, pretty good build quality. It takes 4 AA batteries. Once again, the price is very good for something like this. You have high-speed sync up to 1/8,000th of a second, pending also the trigger that you're using. You've got a guide number of 197, and you have a 20 to 200 millimeter zoom head, so you've got a big range in regards to that. Once you dump full 1/1 power, it's a 3-second recycle time, which is actually not that bad for something like this. So pretty good, especially running off of battery power. It's got high-speed sync, first and second curtain shutter, as well as you got 1/1 and 1/128th power with a third stops in between. So let's really just look at the power, kind of, you know, go through it right here. So I'm going to take this out and do the quick test, and we'll pop up everything on screen and just kind of go over how everything works, and then really just kind of run through this little guy in the end. So this is what you're getting right here with the Yongnuo YN685. This is set up in a slave mode right now, so don't necessarily worry about that. But this is what it looks like right here. I've got a big head right here, absolutely great. Diffusion comes with it and everything. And this is the layout of what it looks right here. I'll compare it to the 560 Mark IV in a second, but this is what you're getting. This is your rotating dial. That's your mode, so that way you can flop between all the different modes. If you hold it in, this is what will switch between your slave and your remote to just normal. So you could set it, this is compatible with the RF603, 602 system, with the 622 triggers, which is essentially this guy right here, which I'll cover in a second. And it pretty much just goes from there. So now we're in the normal mode. You can see everything, how it's set up. And if I go back and forth, this will go your mode right here, multi, if you want to use multi-flash. TTL, this does do electronic TTL, so it's more automated, and you could go with manual right here. Going further down, you can control the zoom of your head right here, 24 to 200 millimeters, like I mentioned in the intro. Holding in, you get essentially the menu that you can scroll through, go down, and you'll essentially see everything that you need to go from here. The one big thing I'd say you need to go down to is the signal option. And when you click on that, I have it set so that way it does the 622 and 603 options, as that's what I have both of. Now, to be careful, once again, most Yongnuo flashes are universal, but these, because of it being TTL and high-speed sync, you need to make sure that you get the proper one. So the N version's for Nikon, C is for Canon. So we'll go back from there. Plus minus controls that. And then you have the sync option right here, which controls the, you know, first or second shutter, or if it just says H right here, that is your high-speed sync, letting it know that it can communicate with the transmitter, and you can go from there. So once again, to obtain the mode of high-speed sync, okay, well, how do you control the power and everything like that? Once again, super simple, plus or minus button, and then you set it to exactly what you need, and it has 1/3 stops. You get what you want, hit select the middle button, and you're done, and you're good to go from there. Sorry, the focus keeps drifting a little bit. And then from past that, set it to whatever you want. The last thing you really need to know, or this just does take 4 AA batteries, the last thing you honestly need to know is just about the high-speed sync of this. So what I'm going to do is hold in the mode button right here. So let's hold in mode. And that's going to bring up the option, let me see if I can bring it closer, of the 622 remote and then slave, which will once again work with this. So we're going to talk about this right now. So to get high-speed sync to work, you have to use the proper equipment. This is the Y622C for Canon transmitter. So once you turn it on, you see that you can control, let me stop down the shutter so that way you can really see. You could control everything that's going on. You can control different channels and everything. You could set different, you can wirelessly control this flash, which is absolutely amazing. It's a little confusing at first though, because of what it is. It's just a test. They're linked together because they're both there. Because of what's going on and what you need to do with it. So the first thing you have to set the mode is I had it set to manual, so that way I could control what it is and it matches pretty much the flash. And then, you know, you could dial in what it's going to be, and it's actually going to change at the same time. So I have this right now. Can you see that? On a 1/4. Let me see if I can get focus on that. And then if I switch back to the actual flash right here, you will see it moving. So let's... you see it moving right there. So I have it set 1:1, and you should be seeing it moving along with it as well. So going back to the flash right here, hopefully it stays on that. You can go between your modes. And then the most important thing is obviously your sync indicator, which will appear on the top left. And you want high speed sync. You want it to have the little H with the flash symbol. And then that way both are good. And now you can use up to 1/8,000th of a shutter. So I will cover high speed sync in an entirely different video using both of this combination. But it took me a while to learn how to link that together because this wasn't the easiest at first, but it is super simple once you have everything you need to go in line. But this flash, I used this at a couple weddings and an events, and it stacks up right up there with the 800 and the 560 Mark IV. Just to show you the 560 Mark IV, I'm gonna go a little overexposed right here, but the size difference, the 685 right here is definitely much larger. You could tell by the size, the head, and everything like that. The 560 Mark IV is a very, very versatile flash. I really enjoy that. That's why I own one of these. But you know, albeit this the 685 is definitely a much stronger flash. I think they're both reliable. They both have the same amount of batteries and everything like that. But you could get a lot out of this 685, especially with the TTL through the lens metering, especially if you're not comfortable with using flash and knowing how to do it manually. You can use it on your camera. Once again, it's camera brand specific, so make sure you're aware of that. But the high speed sync, I just did some random test shooting a calendar on my wall. Once again, this wasn't a high speed sync video. I wanted to include it. I'm going to do a whole separate video, but I was up to 1/8,000th of a shutter, and you didn't see the bars or anything like that come in of the shutter not being able to make it. So this is an amazing flash. I know I'm sweating. It's hot outside, so it's very humid in here. But this flash is killer. Highly recommended for only $102. I even found something used for like $40. So keep your eye out for something like this. Great flash, does everything that you need it to do. And if you get the proper trigger, you could get even something better. And you're not spending like hundreds upon hundreds for other options out there. And it's easy to do high speed sync. Once you know flash, all this stuff becomes very easy to do. It's just learning it, taking the guts to step outside your comfort box and doing it, and you can open up a lot for yourself, especially in regards to high speed sync. But if you need TTL and everything like that, $102 high speed sync, YN685, great option. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, I'm sure you're gonna. It's not a hard thing. If you're used to Yongnuo and everything, it's very simple to use. But if you have any questions or comments, I can finally link this video. This was highly requested. I bought this with my own money, so it's all my stuff, but that's my review. It's great. If you own this, let me know why you bought it. I've recommended this for a while, and now that I've owned it for a little bit, it's worth a purchase.